Today I'm reviewing the Dr. Idriss Depuffer Redness Reducing and Depuffing Roll-On Serum. And really quick, I just want to say this video is brought to you by my newsletter. Be sure to subscribe below. Check it out. I'll also link to the product. Anyway, so all the newest beauty news and things like that, there's always something going on. And if you saw my video the other day, I really went off. So, and I'll have more information on that too. So, okay. So I will start out by describing it. So they say this is the first face roller that actively rolls away your problems. A deflushing, depuffing powerhouse serum clinically proven to relieve transient skin redness and minimize under-eye puffiness. Supercharged with high-performance actives like Arnica to reduce the look of swelling and Centella Asiatica to reduce visible facial redness. My allergies are just out of control lately, so I know it's just a little runny. Okay. So, yeah, so allergy season in Minnesota, it's awful. It's like one of the worst it's ever been. So, sorry, I apologize. My eyes are red, they're itchy, everything kind of itchy everywhere. So, okay, so in terms of packaging of this product, it comes in a plastic squeeze tube with a metal roller, and there's just a simple on or off. So you turn it to have it dispense, and you turn it off so it doesn't leak out. This would be a perfect type of product to have refills for. And I don't know, I don't see any listed at this point, but maybe they're working on it, or maybe it's only on the website of this. So, yeah, so this would be perfect instead of remanufacturing every single device with the roller, although I guess at some point they'd get dirty, so, and then it's not super sanitary. Anyway, so I think a lot of the cooling sensation comes from the metal roller ball, so keep that in mind. It might not necessarily be all just from the product, but it might be from the roller as well. So it's kind of unique, interesting packaging. No issues with that. In terms of denatured drying types of alcohol, it does not contain any of those. When we get to fragrance, it has a sourish scent to it. It's not terribly noticeable the first few times you use it, but the more and more you use it, it gets to be more and more noticeable. And it does contain Arnica extract, which is technically a fragrance ingredient. It's used a lot for bruises and healing and things like that. I'm not exactly sure it's the best thing to use on your skin on a daily basis. If it's occasionally, that's fine, but I have a feeling if you continue to use it, it may continue to irritate your skin, or the more you use it, it might irritate your skin if your skin wasn't irritated to begin with. So I don't necessarily think I would pick something used on a daily basis with Arnica, but for other people, it might not be an issue. So keep that in mind. If your skin is sensitive, it's a little bit different than if your skin's not sensitive and you don't have any issues with it. So keep that one in mind. The manufacturing location for this one is the US, so no issues with that. So ease of use. So I'll put a picture. The other day I applied it to half of my face so you could see the results. There are some pretty impressive photos of this online. So yeah, I don't think my results were nearly as impressive, but I'm not typically a terribly puffy person, but I am very prone to redness. Especially when I get worked up or fired up about something, like the video I recorded the other day. I'm still fired up about it. I remember when I was little and my friend took a pen from me out of my desk. I was probably in 3rd grade or something, and I was so mad. And the kid next to me looked at me and was like, "You look like a tomato," because I was just so red and angry. So I'm not a very good liar. I'm not very good at hiding things. So, okay. So to use, so it's currently set off, turn it to on, and then you can roll it over areas of your face. They recommend applying it anytime to clean, dry skin. So twist it to on, gently squeeze it. This is where I think the ease of use gets to be a little bit wacky, because I find it difficult to squeeze out the appropriate amount, and then afterwards it feels like I've dispensed far too much, and there's not very much left of this after testing it for a little bit over a month. So there you go. So I just squeeze a little bit, and you already see that a little bit too much came up. A little bit is hanging out on the tip of the roller. So be very cautious with that, because otherwise you'll go through this so fast you won't even know what hit you. So anyway, so after you squeeze it, I'm just going to turn it off so no more dispenses. So then you can apply it to your skin with the roller. Honestly, I find it okay to roll it, and then afterwards I just pat it in with my hands. But I do find it difficult to get the appropriate amount of product without seeming like I'm wasting it. It feels like some of it's still kind of leaking out. Okay, so I've got it set to off. So then you'd smooth it into your skin. It takes a moment to dry, maybe a minute or two. So once you let it set, then you can go on to your routine with your next product. So there we go with that. So gently roll it, especially like under the eyes. That's typically where the puffiness is a lot, or it tends to be around my jowls lately, or my mouth where it's very puffy. So it kind of sets to a slightly radiant finish that is slightly tacky. So you'll definitely allow it to dry before you continue. It takes a minute. And then go on to your next product in your routine. You can use this morning or evening. Typically, if it's the evening time, it doesn't really matter if you're terribly puffy or not. But you certainly can use it in your evening routine. But I think most people probably would use this in their morning routine when they care more about their appearance as opposed to going to sleep at night. So, yeah. So pat in any essence. And then certainly allow it to dry before your next product. Okay, so beneficial ingredients in this one. So I've got some beneficial ingredients and then one I think they missed, which they had a good chance to use. So I've got niacinamide. Niacinamide's an anti-acne and skin brightening ingredient. We've got squalane, which is a skin identical ingredient and antioxidant. We've got Centella Asiatica extract, which is an antioxidant, skin soothing and hydrating ingredient. We've got an ingredient called Fraxinus Excelsior bark, which is an anti-inflammatory and antioxidant ingredient with not a whole ton of research on it. A little bit, but not much compared to other ingredients. We've got another ingredient called Agastache Mexicana extract, which is a skin protecting ingredient. Then we've got oat kernel extract, which is a great antioxidant, soothing, and emollient ingredient. We've got green tea extract, which is another antioxidant, soothing ingredient. And then finally we've got something called Simcolmin, which is a soothing, anti-itch, anti-irritant molecule. I was surprised they didn't include caffeine, because caffeine is probably one of the most, if not the most known depuffing ingredient that exists. And if you see a lot of depuffing ingredient like the one The Ordinary has with caffeine for the eye area, caffeine is the powerhouse in that. So I'm pretty surprised that they didn't include that. I'm extremely surprised, actually, that they didn't include that. I'm not sure why. Instead of relying on a few of these other ingredients, they really could have had that powerhouse ingredient that really would have impacted people a lot more. But anyway, they did not. So, okay, in terms of animal testing, this is cruelty-free. Okay, in terms of performance, so what this promises, deflushing, which would mean to me anti-redness, depuffing, powerhouse serum, clinically proven to relieve transient skin redness and minimize under-eye puffiness. I think this helps a little bit with redness, but the effects on puffiness might be more from the cooling feeling of the metal roller as opposed to some of the ingredients. So really the main anti-puffing ingredient we have in here would be the, I guess they don't really necessarily have one I would consider anti-puffiness. The skin soothing ingredients would be the oat kernel and the green tea and the Simcolmin. But they don't necessarily have something I consider to be proven as like a depuffing ingredient. However, there's some pictures from people's before and afters that were quite impressive. Mine, I didn't think were super impressive. I'm not typically very puffy, but I do get puffy around the eyes and a little bit around the mouth. So keep that in mind. I personally think, in my opinion, you might be better off going with something like The Ordinary's anti-puffing caffeine serum. Although that can be kind of on the drying side too. So there you go. And then I think this is better for occasional use because of that Arnica extract and the potential for that to irritate skin the more often you use it. So keep that in mind. There's some other products I've used that have really helped with redness in the past. The Isntree Magnesium Comfort Toner, and the Geek and Gorgeous APAD Serum, and the Peach and Lily Peach Slice's redness relief azelaic acid serum. Those have been 3 very impressive products that really helped with redness. This one did a little bit, but I just noticed a little bit more with those. So, and then for acne prone skin, we've got a few ingredients of note. We've got Dimethicone, Squalane, sorbent isosteroid, and hexylene glycol. So keep that in mind. Again, I don't necessarily think this is probably something meant to be used all over your entire face. I think it would probably be better used strategically where you want to focus on as opposed to just throwing it on everywhere, but especially the price. In my opinion, the price is right on the fine line. I gave them the benefit of the doubt for it. So it's 1.35 ounces, 40 milliliters. It's $38, so it's right on the cusp. It's not ridiculously expensive, but they definitely probably could and would have charged more for it, so I didn't think that was that ridiculous. So in terms of the it factor, I think this is an okay product. It obviously works very well for some people, and other people didn't notice those benefits, so I think weigh the two. I definitely think trying the one from The Ordinary first would be more cost effective, because that product is probably a fourth of the price of this and worth checking out. So anyway, and I think some dupes for this. I think the closest dupe I found was the Summer Fridays Deep Oasis Hydration Serum. Very similar to this as well. So, okay, so with a 10 being a perfect score, I give this one a 6. And that includes, I thought it was kind of pricey, but probably not as pricey as some of their other stuff. So, and that's interesting. So they used to go by Pillow Talk Derm, and I believe they got a little bit of trouble from Charlotte Tilbury using the Pillow Talk word, so now they just go by the Dr. Idriss. So when you're searching online, you can search both products and they'll both come up. So anyway, that'd be interesting. Kind of, they probably got a cease and desist or something. Anyway, interested in your guys' thoughts. Leave a comment. Love hearing from you guys, and stay tuned for more tomorrow. Thanks so much. Bye, guys.